There seem to be few locations as subject to paranormal interference as theatres. With their inherent passion and energy, theatres seem to be very favoured places for spirits to linger, creating a world of enchanted and sometimes cursed presences. Here are a few of those phenomena. The ghost light. Every theatre with even a short history claims at least one ghost, and most strive to keep these departed residents happy. Radio City Music Hall is said to be haunted by its builder, S.L. Roxy Rotherful. Broadway's Belasco Theatre is another great show house said to be overseen by the spirit of its founder, David Belasco. He has reportedly been seen sitting alone in the balcony or wandering the lobbies, even sometimes stopping to speak to patrons. The New Amsterdam Theatre in New York is known to house the very active spirit of Ziegfeld Follies actress Olive Thomas. 2 portraits of the silent film Siren hang backstage, where all who work in the theatre wish her good morning on arrival and good night when they leave. In 1997, the Disney Company was restoring the theatre, which was busy during the day but had only a night security guard patrolling after hours. One night, the guard watched amazed as a young woman in a white bearded gown with a green sash slowly walked across the stage, smiled and blew him a kiss before walking out the door into the street. While there are similar stories from theatres all over the world, technically the ghost light does not burn to appease nocturnal spirits strutting the boards. It's said to be a safety measure to prevent someone falling off the edge of the stage or bumping into sets in the darkness. In the 19th century, when theatres were powered by gas, keeping a light on stopped pressure building up in the gas line and causing an explosion. However, some still claim that the tradition's origin is more based in the paranormal. Some suggest it is left on to allow the spirits their time to perform on stage, and the general consensus is that the light does burn to appease the ghosts. If the ghost light wasn't lit, the spirits would create mischief, or even worse, curse the theatre. The Scottish play. Theatre workers generally consider it bad luck to say the name Macbeth within a theatre, usually referring to it as Shakespeare's Scottish play or the Bard's play. The work is believed to be plagued by a curse whereby uttering the play's title inside a theatre can bring misfortune. The origin of the claim dates back to opening night, when a real dagger was used instead of a prop and an actor lost his life. Other mishaps and tragedy have taken place over the years, including injuries, further fatalities, fires, and a riot. There have been some strange origins suggested for this superstition, often related to witchcraft. One is that Shakespeare obtained the words of the witches' incantations from a coven of real witches. However, because the spells are transcribed in an incomplete form, this has provoked the curse. Another story goes that, on seeing the play, the actual witches were angered by their portrayal and then cursed the play to eternity. Another explanation is that the props master from the original performance actually stole a cauldron from that same coven, equally getting the witches offside. It's said that when the character Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft, speaks her lines on stage, they strengthen the curse. Another witchcraft explanation is that Shakespeare himself put a curse on the play, to the effect that no one other than him would be able to direct it properly. Omens. Dressing room etiquette dictates that there is never one numbered 13. It is also rumoured to be unlucky to have pictures hanging in the dressing room or for performers to be overlooked by other members of the company while making up in front of the mirror. There is also a rule in the theatre to never carry peacock feathers on stage. The superstition came about due to the pattern on the feather that to some looks like the evil eye, which is also known as the devil's eye. The rule is partly there because no theatre production wants to risk offending an audience with this unpleasant curse, which is purported to bring misfortune or injury to whoever casts it. The less rational aspect of it claims that, if worn on stage, the feathers will bring bad luck to the production, resulting in missed lines, scenery collapses, and lighting malfunctions. Equally, if peacock feathers are worn anywhere in the theatre, even by a member of the audience, it is considered an ill omen. Drury Lane. Founded in 1663, this London theatre seems the beloved home of several very active spirits. Joseph Grimaldi was an actor, comedian and dancer who inspirationally invented the clown and pantomime traditions. He virtually worked himself into the grave in 1837, but is still around to deliver a mischievous kick to actors, cleaners and usherettes going about their duties. His disembodied painted face has also been seen floating around the theatre. Another clown was Dan Leno, whose claims to fame were clog dancing and portraying the pantomime dame. Before passing, at only 43, he was unwell, and the lavender with which he masked his body odours is often detected by actors on stage. He's been known to push staff and tug on actors' wigs, while a rhythmic drumming sound coming from what was once his dressing room is thought to be Leno rehearsing his clog dancing act. Drury Lane's most famous ghost is that of the so-called man in grey, the apparition of a limping young man wearing a powdered wig, white ruffed shirt, grey riding cloak and three-cornered hat. He usually appears during daylight hours and will cross from one side of the upper circle to the other, where he melts into the wall. In 1939, most of the cast of the Dancing Years musical, who were on stage for a photo call, witnessed his little wander, as have members of the audience, numerous famous actors, firemen, theatre managers and others. One morning a cleaner who was new in the job encountered him in his favourite seat at 10 a.m. Thinking he was an actor, she began to speak with him, whereupon he vanished. Looking around, she noticed his figure disappearing into the wall at the side of the circle. While the identity of the man in grey remains a mystery, an intriguing discovery during renovations in the 1870s may shed some light as to why his spirit haunts the theatre. Workmen found a hidden room behind the wall where the ghost always vanishes. Inside, they discovered a man's skeleton surrounded by remnants of grey cloth and with a dagger protruding from its rib cage. It was then speculated that the remains were those of a young man who travelled to London during the time of Queen Anne. Having won the affections of an actress at the theatre, he was slain by her actor lover in a fit of jealous rage, and his body concealed in the secret recess where it lay undiscovered until the Victorian renovation of the theatre. Whatever the reason for his presence, the man in grey is a welcome ghost, as it is universally acknowledged that he only ever appears at the start of a successful run at the theatre. The King and I, South Pacific and Oklahoma are just 3 of the productions he has endorsed with his visitations, and the long-running Miss Saigon was bestowed with an appearance every time there was a change of cast. He is therefore viewed with affection rather than fear, and his antics, which include propelling performers to positions where they can best deliver their lines, have become stuff of theatrical legend. Thespis. The ultimate theatrical ghost would have to be that of Thespis, who traditionally is blamed when things go wrong with a performance. According to Aristotle, Thespis of Icaria was the first actor to separate himself from the classic Greek chorus and portray a character on stage. Until his time, in the 6th century BC, men had performed only as themselves or as storytellers. Thespis was the first to create a dramatic persona, leading to the birth of tragedy as well as theatrical touring. Often any accidents or problems in the theatre are first blamed on the ghost of Thespis, who is said to travel the world's stages, creating mayhem. November the 23rd marks the day of his first performance and is notoriously the day he wreaks the most havoc. The legend also goes that to keep Thespis and any other ghosts of the theatre happy, a theatre needs to close its doors for 1 night a week, which is usually on a Monday. This also conveniently gives the thespians or human actors the night off after a weekend of performances.